So first thing is error. So we all know what is error. Suppose if I am measuring something, correct? Suppose if it is 10 centimeter and I am measuring it as 9.8 centimeter. So it is around 0.2 centimeter is the difference, correct? So it is the difference between the measured value, the value which I am measuring, and the true value of the physical quantity. That's all. Accuracy. How much accurate I am measuring that particular value. It is closeness of measurement to the true value. Then there are type of errors. Systematic errors. Okay, so systematic errors are only two things. Those errors which are either positive or negative errors. Instrumental errors. So for example, if I'm buying something and there is a it's a faulty design or the imperfect design of that instrument, then it is called the instrumental error respectively. So once you go to the school, okay, you will be doing a physical experiment on a vernier caliper. At that time, we can see clearly that the 0 mark of the vernier caliper may not coincide with the 0 mark of the main scale. So vernier has a 0 mark, as well as scale has got a main scale has also got a 0 mark. Actually, both should coincide, but due to the fault in the instrument, it will not coincide. Okay, once you're doing the experiment on vernier caliper, you will be able to understand much better. Imperfection in the experimental procedure. So suppose if you're getting fever, okay, not now, now everyone is doing that, this thing, no contact measuring of our, this thing, fever and all, temperature thing, correct? So the digital thermometer is there nowadays. Okay, no contact or contactless thermometers available. But in the last, before, not now, maybe 2-3 years back, we use a thermometer and we used to keep it inside our armpit. Now also in most of the hospitals, they are following the same thing. But it will actually give us a lower temperature than that of the actual temperature of the human body. Okay. So this is called, this is the imperfection in the experimental procedure. Personal error. So the error caused by an individual. This is a self-explanatory. This I don't need to explain to you. Okay. The next one is least count error. The error associated with the resolution of a measuring instrument. I can see the same vernier caliper on this also. Okay. So this they can ask you in the theoretical examination. And coming to the next one is absolute error. Okay. So before knowing the absolute error, you should know what is absolute mean. So mean value measured in different quantities. Okay, this is nothing but what? Our mean value measured in different quantities. So that is A mean is equal to A1 plus A2 plus A3 dot AN by N. N is the number of times you are measuring that thing. And second one is, that is absolute mean. Why it is important is nothing but, if you want to find the absolute error, it's very important for us to find the absolute mean. Okay. Delta A1, we can all see in this thing as what? Delta A1 here is equal to A mean minus A1. So in order to find this delta A1, I need absolute mean. That's the reason I wrote this thing as first. Okay. So this is nothing but what? Manual difference between the individual measurement and the final and the true value of the quantity. And the true value of the quantity. So difference between what? Individual measurement, that is A1, A2 and all, and a true value of the quantity. That is the thing about our absolute mean. But what is going to ask an entrance? I am yet to come into that. Okay. Relative error. Delta A mean by A mean. Where delta A mean is nothing but delta A1 plus delta A2 plus delta A3 up to delta AN. So this is again what? Absolute mean error. So this delta A mean, meaning what? Absolute mean error. So guys, this is something which we have to by heart and keep. Okay, but very easy also. I don't want to waste much of time in this. Very easy thing. Percentage error. Percentage error is one of the things is going to ask in the entrance examination. It is delta A mean to A mean into 100. Whereas our relative error is just delta A mean by A mean. And one of the most important thing, which is asked in the entrance examination is these two. Okay, I'll come to both of the things. Error of a sum or a difference. So said is nothing but it's either it is represented as some error of a sum or a difference. That is said actually. So it is either difference or sum of two quantities. Quantities here are A and B. If it is A and B or A minus B, this is the maximum value. This is delta A plus delta B is the maximum value of the error. This also I'll just write it down. Maximum value of the error. Maximum value of the error. Okay, but this is also not asked in entrance. Okay, what I'm going to tell you in the next one, that is asked in entrance. So coming to this one, it is error of a product or a quotient. Yes, this is the one which is actually asked in entrance. If it is either a multiplication or a division, we write as for delta z by z is equal to delta a by a plus delta b by b. This question is asked in, this is the only type of question you will get in entrance. And the below one, if it is a power p into b power q into c power r, then also very easy for us. So p into delta a by a, q into delta b by b, plus r into delta c by c. Then you might be wondering, what about this delta a by a and everything? In entrance thing, they will give delta a by a value, they will give the values of each and everything. So it's very easy. Only thing is that we have to remember this formula and we have to substitute it. That's all. That's the first chapter. But what I took now is the second chapter. Okay. So I just want to tell you some few terms in this, which you are not aware. Most of you guys are not aware about the branch of physics. Very easy chapter this is. So first is mechanics. Mechanics. Okay, so it deals with the study of particles at rest or in motion. Under the action of forces. Again, these things may be asked only in the theoretical thing. Again, entrance and all, you won't get any of these things. This is just for information. Electrodynamics. So this deals with electric field magnetism. Electric field I'm putting as EF. Magnetic field as MF. Okay. And electromagnetic induction, EMI. Electromagnetic induction. So this is again which you'll study in class 12th in detail. You got a chapter on this, electromagnetic induction. This whole thing will be there in your class 12th actually, in detail. Okay, and later on, you can copy it. Optics. Again, this is there in your class 12th. This is in first chapter, which is saying that, okay, physics has got all of this stuff and you have to know these things. So study of light, optic, study of light energy, study of light energy. This is LIGHT, okay, light energy. Then comes thermodynamics, not mechanics, thermodynamics. So those who are planning to take mechanical engineering, okay, so mechanical engineering is not about cars and everything, it's all about thermodynamics. So it means you will study about heat, study of heat and the interaction of heat with matter. Okay, study of heat and its interaction. Interaction in the sense, what is the interaction of heat with matter? Heat with matter. Okay. Then some terms are there. Okay, I think some terms you may know it. Alpha, beta, gamma. I think these things you are familiar with. And maybe theta also you are familiar. And what about this thing, guys? What is this thing? Anyone who does not know this symbol? Tau. TAU, tau. Then we got this symbol, sigma, or this symbol. This is called sigma. Okay. Alpha, beta, and gamma, I'm not telling. Then you got something called this, delta. Or maybe this is also given. This is called what? Delta. This everyone knows it. I'm gonna write now. Lambda. Wavelength. Correct? Lambda. Then you may be hearing something. This is called epsilon. This is there in your class 12th. Epsilon and all will come in your class 12th. This also I think you know, rho. Okay. And then this is called nu. This is given for frequency. Which one? This particular thing, nu symbol is for frequency. Rho is for what? Density we will give, not density, resistivity. Rho is for resistivity. Epsilon, I'll tell you once it is needed. Okay, for you guys. Then comes, let me choose some other color. Yeah. Then this symbol, mu, mu, mu. Okay. Then this symbol, I think everyone know, phi. PHI, phi. Then just like this symbol, this is called psi. P is silent in this. This is called psi. Okay. And then there is something called like this. This is called susceptibility, and this is called psi. Susceptibility. This is again coming in your class 12th actually. Susceptibility is called psi. Then comes this particular thing, eta. So I'm just writing down whatever things which I know. Okay. Eta is there, and pi, I think everyone knows it. What is pi? So I'll just put it on here. Pi. Then what? So these are the symbols which I want to introduce to you. Yeah, omega. I forgot about this. This is W or this particular thing. This is called omega. Okay. These are some of the symbols which you don't know. Okay, some of the symbols you know. I think around 60-70% you know, but some symbols this is torque symbol, tau, or this is also called, this is used for torque as well as for relaxation type. Okay. Don't worry if you're hearing for the first time. This is what I have to tell you.